Alright, everybody, welcome back to Dokkan Win! As always, I'm going to say as always, even though I think last time all three of us together, I said as sometimes always, didn't I? Is that what I said?
Something like that.
Well,
something like that.
As per namesake of the icon that you're looking at right now, if you're on the YouTube side, go look at, if you're on Spotify, go to KH Hauser on YouTube if you want to, see whatever's going on the screen, and if not, just listen to Spotify. But yeah, it's led by Hayden, Will, and Dale, and I'm Dale.
I'm Hayden.
Yep, and the higher. Wait a minute. Wait, no, you screwed this up, Hayden.
No, you screwed this up, Will.
No, I said I'm Dale.
I know, and I said I'm Hayden.
Yeah, and that makes Will. And that makes Will. Will is Dale, Hayden is Will, and Dale is Will. Wait.
Who would want to be Will?
I don't even know if Will wants to be Will, honestly.
Sometimes don't.
How are you guys doing today?
I'm just kind of chilling.
Same. I'm turning
20. Getting just mass amounts of souls in Elden Ring.
Yeah.
By watching knights kill dogs.
Yeah, we're sitting here. People out there, Elden Ring's a very good game. Like, if you can handle a tedious grind, you can play Elden Ring. Because I'm good with tedious grinds, not Elden Ring so much, and I'm enjoying Elden Ring. I had a mango.
It's not that tedious of a grind.
Okay.
Because it can kick your ass very quickly.
I'm saying depending on what you do, because I go for the giant ball grind, which is just running in a circle pretty much. I mean, I can get upwards of 10,000 runes in 5 minutes, but yeah,
it's not as fun as mine watching knights beat the shit out of T-Rex dogs.
Well, your problem is one false step and they're gonna kick your ass. You were sitting there.
That's why I hide on top of a hill.
Will, what'd you have for dinner tonight? Because it is dinner time.
I had canes.
Dale, what'd you have?
Had smoked chicken with smoked corn.
Oh.
Twice baked potatoes.
Oh.
And what else did we have? We had rolls. And I think that's it.
I had a slightly unripe mango. It was crunchy.
Mango should never be crunchy.
Okay.
No, mangoes, people out there, if your mango is juicy, you're eating it wrong. You need to take a bite into it, or whenever you bite into it, it feels like you're biting into a brick. And it just breaks off like it's frozen. And then, because it's actually a perfect amount of bitter with a perfect amount of sweet, because I like this bitter and sweet. I like bitter stuff. I like sour stuff. Sour and bitter are the same thing.
Sour and bitter? Kinda.
I would say they're different, personally.
I mean, they're in the same vein, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I would say they're cousins.
Okay. I know we're not going to talk Dokkan in this one, but I'm going to say one quick thing, Will, since we actually talked about this not long. I say maybe about 2 months ago.
Okay.
Physical LR Ginyu got his EZA, and I'm really upset with it.
What, is it trash?
No, it doesn't have the giving unit 77 attack and defense per, ally on the team like I thought it would. It gives 30% for everyone and another 20% if it's Ginyu Force. I think that's what it is. So I'm slightly upset by that, I'm not gonna lie. They, for once, didn't steal our ideas. I'm happy with that, but I'm sad that they didn't.
They just didn't listen to that episode.
Who knows? They probably didn't. Or they did. They're like, we're gonna EZA them, but we're not gonna EZA them like how they want.
We're going to EZA them, but not the right way.
We're going to do what we want, not what they want. Oh, that's a first. No, go back to stealing our ideas so we have stuff to bitch about. I think I'm the only one that really bitches about it.
Yeah, I don't bitch about it a lot.
I think Will
It's just nice to be noticed.
I think Will bitch about it, but I bitch about it the most. I'm 90% certain. If someone out there corrects me, please don't.
Okay.
So, guys, I'm turning 22 in 2 days.
2 days.
Yep.
You go, girl.
And you know what I'm doing? Nothing.
What?
Not a thing.
I didn't do anything for my 22nd either.
Oh, that's right. You're only 22. I always forget. People out there. I think it was Will who said we act like we're old, but we're really not that old. Dale's the oldest one of us. Aren't you 23, 24?
Hey, sure. I think I'm 23.
I think I'm 23.
By that logic, I think I'm 10. Actually, no, I'm 16.
I don't know how old I am. You think I keep track of that?
I figured it's just something you people know. Unless you're a 4-year-old that stick up, how old are you? I think I'm this many, and they stick up 3 fingers. Add the pinky. I'm this many, and they just put down the index finger instead.
Dude, I don't keep track of that. I really don't.
How, that's just something I feel like you should know.
Some people may know it intrinsically, but I don't care for it. It's just...
I mean, for some legal things, you should care for it. What if you're...
And if I make a mistake, someone can go, "Oh, you were born in '98. You're 23."
Okay, there you go. Oh, that hurt my soul, the fact you didn't know your age for a second.
Because I don't care.
I am just blasphemed. I'm blasphemed. It's not spicy. As our new Dokkan term is. Spicy.
It's not spicy.
Spicy.
Spicy and not spicy. If you it's the vibe check. If you pass this vibe check, we call you spicy. If you don't, you're not spicy. Can we actually make this official terms? If we like something, we call it spicy. And if we don't, it's not spicy.
Yes.
Good. 2 versus 3, Dale.
Sure, I don't care.
So guys,
sorry, I'm really enjoying watching this fight between the Knights and the Dogs.
I need to go find that area. Like, I'm about 30 hours into Elden Ring, and I've done a lot of side bosses. Like, I think I'm at like 6 side bosses.
Do you have your map for Caelid?
Nope. Wait, I think I have a chunk of Caelid, not all of Caelid.
Okay, if you have the bottom chunk that like touches the sea towards the south,
I do not.
You'll see. Okay, never mind then.
Speaking of games, Will, what games have you been playing recently?
Destiny 2.
Oh, the new
Witch Queen came out. The new DLC.
There's still stuff coming out for Destiny 2? I thought that stopped last year.
No. There's going to be stuff coming out for the foreseeable future.
There's going to be stuff coming out until they make a Destiny 3.
I don't think that they'll ever make Destiny 3, honestly.
It'll just be Destiny 2.8.
They'll just keep adding until they finish out the story.
Hayden, you really need to get here if you need new armor, because I've gotten like 4 pieces of armor.
I do need new armor. Do you have to pay for the DLC?
Yes.
Yes.
That's stupid.
Unless you buy the expansion pass.
I hate that. I'm no longer ever going to play Destiny because of that right there.
Destiny is fun, especially if you can do it with a group of people.
Well, I mean...
You have to pay for basically every single DLC in every single game nowadays.
That's not what I mean. That's not what I'm meaning. Let's take Final Fantasy VII Remake as a prime example.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, though I hate that it's split up, it's the first 6 hours of the game made into 30 hours, it's still the full game. Destiny, are each of the DLCs like their own separate stories, or do they add on to the already told story?
They're separate stories that basically become a brand new game.
They add on to the already told stories. It's a continually developing story, and it adds a raid. Usually it adds a raid, new missions, new strikes, new weapons, everything.
I mean, the weapon makes sense, but so basically, the way I'm imagining it is it's a book with 1,000 pages. You get to page 400. All right, now you got to go buy the next part of the book with the next 400 pages.
Kinda.
But
that's literally every single story-based game.
Yeah,
nowadays.
I mean,
it's not just Destiny.
Look at Walking Dead Telltale.
Well, Telltale was a different thing. They had that developing each separately, and each one can be its own thing, but Telltale did the episodic things. I'm thinking like actual full-fledged 30-hour games, because Destiny, I know people who put, I think, Will, how many? You probably 400 or 500 hours into it, probably?
More.
Well, I mean, that's what it's like. That is, it's a game that adds story when the story could have just been done. Let's take Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts, what is it?
The
Remind.
story cannot be done. There's way too much left to tell.
Kingdom Hearts could have been all one game, and I still wouldn't understand the story.
Dude,
Come on.
The story in Kingdom Hearts could not have been one game. Like, it could not have been. There's too much. I'm saying, like, I'm using the Remind as an example. You can play through Kingdom Hearts 3 and get the full story, but if you play through Remind, it doesn't change the story. You don't need that to complete the story.
Yep, and Destiny's a completely different style game than Kingdom Hearts.
No, I'm just going with the story. Like, I personally wouldn't want to play, but I'll pay, say, $60 for the game, and then once, we'll say every year, pay $15 to add on to the story of said game. I'd rather buy the whole story of the game completed, and if they have side things, then good. Like, Borderlands.
Here's the thing. Once again, it's completely different than Kingdom Hearts and everything else. It's a ever expanding MMO style RPG. Like, it's a first person MMO that has
it really is. Like, look at WoW. WoW did the same thing where all the expansions you have to pay for.
It has PvP, it has story, it has raids. Like, there's way more than just. And like the new DLC, I mean, Bungie's greedy, but it was $60. But there was more than $60 worth of content that has already dropped, and there's going to be more in the next coming seasons. But that $60 is the whole seasons for that expansion.
And with the expansions, Hayden, they also drop a crap ton of free stuff.
I'm just trying to think. It's the way that it sounds. People out there, I don't do online stuff. I prefer my single player full story, like Days Gone, Elden Ring, which Dying Light 2, stuff like that. And Dying Light 1 has the following, but you don't have to play, as far as I know, you don't have to play the following to get the entire story. It just adds after the story's already done. But the way it sounds is it's just MMO, and I could be wrong on World of Warcraft, I've never played it. But don't each of those expansions, like, aren't they their own separate stories, like separate entities as opposed to what's going on?
Sometimes.
Yeah, like, but Destiny's just, it's a continual story.
That's what I'm trying to go. The thing is, it's almost like the way it's like, did you guys ever watch the show Lost?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How Lost it had a story set in place, but they drug it out as long as possible.
Yeah, but Destiny's not dragging out.
I'm just using that.
But I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that Destiny, like, the story could not have been fit into one, like, whole, like, there's way too much content. They have had to vault content, years worth of content, because there would have been too much content in the game to play.
It sounds like Skyrim. Doesn't Skyrim have, like, a shit ton of content, like, for what it was, like one of the most amount of content in game?
Yeah, there's still people finding random things that nobody's found in Skyrim.
Okay, Dale, since I know, Dale, you're the Skyrim person. Wait, Will, you're a Skyrim person too, right?
No, not so much.
Okay. So we'll say comparison of Skyrim, story, like all that, non-DLC, just base game versus base game. What has more stuff? Like, what would have more stuff?
Skyrim,
because Skyrim was a complete game that didn't need expansions. They just got it because Bethesda was hungry. And
that's what I'm trying. That's the point I'm getting across. If you like Destiny, good for you. I don't, because now hearing this, it just sounds like an incomplete game. I'm sure they have a plan, but I wouldn't want to spend, let's say $200. I guarantee it's probably more than $200. Let's say $500 in $630 or $60, $530 increments. I wouldn't personally want to do that for one story.
Yeah, but okay, here's the thing: the difference between, like, you're comparing games to Destiny that are not comparable to Destiny.
I'm bitching about the story.
No, No, just let me finish. You're comparing games to Destiny that are not comparable. Skyrim is a single player story game. Destiny is a multiplayer MMO first person shooter game that happens to have a good story.
Yeah, it didn't have to have a good story, and I guarantee people would still play it.
Oh, it had a horrible story for years and people still played it.
Yeah, like look at 1.
And I'm saying if it's online aspects of it, that's fine. But the way that I've seen Destiny been talked about, not you, Will, is it is not played as an MMO. It's played as a story game. If it was a story game, I would not play it if I have to spend, let's say, once every 2 years, $60 to put.
That is a small amount of people that play it as a story game.
That's literally maybe 2% of the population.
Yeah, probably more.
A lot of people just do it for multiplayer and the fact that you can join up with 3 other friends.
And the multiplayer
and do things like Crucible and Strike
3 to
missions
6
and
other
raids.
friends.
And and if it's just multiplayer rating stuff, that part makes sense. But if it was played as a story game, like how it's been explained, I can't tell you the story.
It's not.
I could care less about the story. It's just I would be very upset of warranting a lot of money for just adding on to a story that if it should have been completed. It's why.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not a story game. It's a game that happens to have now a good story. It's just a online multiplayer MMO style game. That's literally why it's thrived, is because they just keep adding content that people can play, and they just keep making it slightly more difficult. That's the thing. It's not a story game. It didn't start out as a story game. The story is pretty good now, but you don't even have to pay attention to the story to play the game.
Oh, I figured that. Now I figured that, I mean. But, like I said, it's one of those things, let's take, Dale and I are playing the Elden Rings, the Souls games right now. I was kind of telling him, I do not like the aspect of the game. I like the game as what it is if it's just an open world beat 'em up, which I know that's not the right way, but I like that part of the game. The story aspect of it could be great. I do not like the way you have to dig for the story, because I like story games.
You want a way to dig for story? Let me figure out. Let's see.
And we'll take this.
Speaking about digging for story for Destiny, you used to have to dig for the story books so much. You had to go to a website. Not even like you can go in the game now because people complain so much. But if you wanted to get the backstory and all the little details that they were claiming that was a good thing, you had to go to a website back in Destiny 1. And that's when they started to care about this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Destiny 1 is a dark place.
Here you go. Grafted Blade Greatsword, the story sword of Castle Morn, a revenger's weapon, is burdened by the oceans of anger and regret. One of the legendary armaments, a lone surviving champion from a country now vanished, was so determined to continue fighting that he claimed the swords of an entire clan of warriors. That's the story that you find from the weapon and the armor. Let's look at the Godric armor. Where's it at? It's these guys. Armor worn by soldiers who fought by General Radahn's side.
And if it's explained, great. The thought that was actually crossing my mind is Bloodborne, where it has, from what I know, it has a pretty good story, a decent story elements. I can't tell you all of it, but what seemed it has interesting aspects. But let's take the opening aspect of Bloodborne. We'll take an average player like me who doesn't do a whole lot of that stuff, or Will, since Will and I don't play Souls games. Right, Will? You don't play Souls games, right?
I do not.
Okay. So we'll take Bloodborne. You run through that first city. I cannot tell you the name of the city, but you run through the first city, you just take on the werewolves, you take on weird skeleton, pilgrim, scarecrow people. Then you take on I think it's
cursed.
Yeah, and apparently I didn't know this. There are still people alive. Those things were once normal people.
Hmm?
I didn't know that. I thought they were just monsters that had invaded.
No, all the monsters used to be people.
I didn't know that. So I just ran in. I was like, okay, well, here's monsters. Okay. Kill, kill, kill. It made no sense. And then you have, like, Dark Souls. I guarantee you, it took the person who now knows the entire story of Dark Souls, it probably took them 5 playthroughs to get the game, to get the story.
Way more.
I did this. We'll say 5, and they'll say if you put 100 hours, well, that's probably an over-exaggerated number. We'll say 50 hours trying to beat bosses and stuff each time, because you get unlucky unless you're, God at it. But 50 hours for 5 playthroughs, understand 250 hours to understand a game that's probably, if you're good at it, could take 20 hours to beat. I'll say if you're good at it, not great at it, just good at it. That's too much. I like I like mine where I know what's going on, I know what I'm doing, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Elden Ring. Go get the ring, okay? What does the ring do?
You listen to the beginning.
No, I know. I'm just using that one. That one has stuff. I'm just using that because I know, like, the other Dark Souls.
It gives you a lot more than the first, 3.
Yeah.
It's like the second one, especially, like, all you get is a cutscene of, like, your character. Like, he's, like, got, like, muddled memories of, like, his old family. And, like, you can kind of tell that maybe he went mad and murdered his family with the undead curse. And then, like, you just hear an old lady say, "Seek the Lord Vessel." And that's it.
No. I don't... See, that right there, if I was
that's all you get.
If that's all that was driving me, I would not want to play the game, because I play games for the story. Days Gone, Last of Us, Dying Light, we'll take Final Fantasy, Dead Space, stuff like that. I like the stories. So I need to actually finish Dead Space, but...
You never finished Dead Space?
I've been wanting to stream it, but my streaming system has been fucking up. Like, it'll randomly work. It'll work better with my PlayStation for whatever reason, but if I'm trying to stream with the Xbox, it'll work for 10, 20 minutes perfectly fine. And the next thing you know, it'll just drop. And not work. And then I'll go stream with my PlayStation, and then it'll work for 4 or 5 hours.
So...
I could have beaten Dead Space by now.
I would really recommend you play and complete Dead Space. It is such a good game.
I want to complete it, but I'm like halfway through the game, more than halfway. I'm on like chapter 7 or 8 right now, with it on stream. I want to finish it on stream because I need to finish it because I started it. If it wasn't for that, I would have beaten it by now. And I have 2, and I think 3 too. I probably would have had all 3 of them beaten by now.
3 isn't that good. Like, it's fun. And it's definitely an end to the story, kind of. But you can tell, like, they wanted to make another one, but...
Didn't they have a
like, visceral.
Didn't they have a spin-off one? Like a Dead Space something? Or am I thinking of, like a book or something?
They've got movies. They've got... I don't know about a book, but they had a Wii game. They had a mobile game.
Maybe I'm thinking of the movie. I think I do remember a movie. Dead Space was a good game.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever play Dying Light, or are you just a Destiny person?
I never played Dying. The last real single player game that I actually played through was Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And
Ooh.
I no-lifed that game. And then I started playing Destiny, and my time of playing single player games was over. I can no longer sit in a game by myself. It's boring. Destiny has ruined me.
To each their own. I love I like the lull of a single player game more than the lull of an online game.
Yeah, I'm the complete opposite.
Like I'm gonna play Dying Light in about 3 days with Brian, who we went to school with. But outside of that, I cannot play online games. I have such a hard time with them. I used to play Mass Effect 3 online, which was the first one I had, which is just raid boxes. I liked it. It's one of the very few online I actually liked. because it was fun. 4 people taking on 10 waves of bosses or upwards of 20, depending on the mode you were on. You could change. You could play as different species. That was cool. I want the Legendary Edition to bring that back. I liked it.
Hayden, did you ever play Gears of War?
I have the prequel Gears of War. Like, I got it from a...
What do you mean the prequel Gears of War?
There's apparently a game that's like the...
Like 1 or Judgment?
Judgment.
Okay, Judgment isn't technically a prequel because it still happens the same time as 1.
Oh, well, I looked up the thing and it said it was counted as a prequel, so that's why I was saying.
I mean, kinda.
Is it is it prequel like how Resident Evil 0 is to Resident Evil 1, where it technically does happen almost simultaneously?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Like most of the shit that happens in Judgment happens at the same time as 1.
So it's just different point of view?
Yeah, it...
Damn it. Let's see. What anime series is it? Is it the Fate/Night series?
Oh my god, with 18 different ones where you gotta like watch them in some fucking crackhead watching experience. Like, yeah, you can watch Fate Stay Night Apocrypha, but also at the same time you have to watch on a simultaneous screen.
Didn't you once tell me that
Stay Night Infinite Bloodworks?
Didn't you once tell me that it's literally the exact same story every single time, just to a different person?
Pretty much.
Okay, that's not what I'm gonna just equate it to. I could have sworn the thing was a, prequel. That's why I got it. So I was like, yay! But I do have Judgment. I cannot find. I'm in the same problem. I cannot find the first Gears of War anywhere.
You can. They made a deal a while ago that where they're all in one, like Mass Effect.
Huh. On 360.
360 or Xbox One, I can't remember.
Will, you're the Xbox user. Answer my question.
Say the question again. There was a lot of words there.
Okay, is Gears of War, we'll call it the Legendary Edition, are all of them on Xbox One or Xbox 360?
Oh my gosh, I'm not sure. I can look it up though.
Okay,
that's what I'm about to do.
Will's our residential Xbox person. Dale, you're the PC. I'm the PlayStation. Will's Xbox. We have our roles.
Because I know, like, I can buy them on PC if I want to.
Yeah, I figured that. Speaking of PC, they ported
Gears of War 3 limited edition console bundle.
I know they made a 4th one. I did want to play 4th one. I wanted to play the 4th one because I know a little bit of
after Gears of
War Ultimate
3,
Edition.
It was Ultimate Edition.
Yeah,
okay.
Ultimate Edition contains 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. On 1 or 360?
Looks like 1.
Ah, damn it! I'm too old. I still run my 360.
But
after Gears 3, the series went downhill.
4 wasn't that good. 5, I really liked 5.
5, that's what I was thinking of, not 4. The one that had Disturbed Sound of Silence playing in the background of the trailer. That's what I'm thinking.
Sure.
Of. It was the most recent one.
I don't remember. The one that will always stick with me is watching Dom run through all the people who got burned by the Hammer of Dawn, running through that city where like they're just ash people left.
Okay.
And it's singing the All Around Me Are Familiar Faces.
All around me are familiar.
Yeah, that one.
My voice couldn't go that high. I was trying to whisper sing and my voice just left. I need to start playing more games, even though I'm the problem. But I was gonna talk about mods and stuff. I know you guys don't like Final Fantasy VII or care much for Final Fantasy, but they've been modding the heck out of it, and Kingdom Hearts since it's gone on PC.
I have modded Fallout 4 and Skyrim to oblivion. Like they do not look like the same game.
Is it like a Minecraft kind of modding where you add all the shaders and stuff? You take it from blocky to realistic. You can actually see the grass.
I've got
grow.
graphics enhancements. I've got what's it called? More guns, like actual modern day guns that would be around. Shit like that makes the crafting better. Just but you would play it and go, this isn't Fallout 4. This is some like fan-made game.
This is Fallout, yes. I love mods. They're so much fun just to see stupid stuff like God of War. One mod I saw.
Oh god, the God of War.
I saw one that's a size changer mod. Like you make Kratos either super tiny or really massive.
I watched one that just made his eyes super fucking big.
Yep, and then that same one, I think it was a Facebook video, and they had him with long arms. Like just mega massive arms just clipped into the ground. And the no beard Kratos, which looked really scary.
I mean, Kratos didn't have a beard for the longest time.
No, I know he didn't. I know he didn't, but it's just bare. Like, imagine somebody who has a goatee versus no goatee. If you see that person with a goatee forever, and then they go to this, it's
like how I normally wear like my facial hair long, and like my mustache.
Or let's take Will. If Will grew a goatee, he wowould look so much different. If Will grew a goatee,
if I could grow facial hair.
And that's pretty much what it is. That's the same. It's just that effect. It's just you saw it for one way for so long. Like I saw God of War 4 Kratos for so long that I looked at him with a goatee. Okay, that looks kind of normal. I saw him with beard, with long facial hair for so long, but this one's okay. Then I saw him with no beard. It's like, oh my god, this is a different man.
It's like Geralt in Witcher 3. Like you play a really long time, and then you have to get a haircut to make your character look representable.
Okay.
And like it takes off his beard and his long hair, and you're just like, this isn't the same man.
This isn't the same. Man. It's like playing through a Mass Effect game, but every time you like carry over the next one, you just change your character so much differently.
I can never. Like I watch people play Mass Effect and they're using custom characters. I'm like, that's not my Commander Shepard.
Do you go with the original Shepard or do you make your custom?
OG Shepard.
I found. Well, you played Mass Effect, right?
Yeah, back in the day.
Mass Effect's such a good game. I'm ready for the Mass Effect 4 to come out.
Mass Effect is very good. I never played Andromeda or however you say it.
I wouldn't waste your breath on it.
And okay. Andromeda is not a bad game. If you compare it to Mass Effect, it's a terrible game. But Andromeda itself, as its own thing, which it is an actual good game. The story is good. The characters are memorable. The world itself is great. But if you compare it to the original trilogy, it is shit. If you compare it as itself, it is a good game. It's like the Godzilla movies. This is gonna be a really weird thing. We're just going bouncing all over the place. But you guys have you guys seen Godzilla?
Depends on which one.
I haven't watched a Godzilla since Shin Godzilla, dude.
That was a good Godzilla. That was actually a decent Godzilla. But I'm thinking like
no, I take that back. What was the one where Godzilla looked more like a raptor?
Oh, that's 1998. That's a Godzilla.
Yeah.
Shin Godzilla came out after that, 2014. No, 17. I think. Either way. But I was sitting there, I found a Godzilla TikTok. I was just talking about movies, and everyone's sitting there bitching that 1998 American Godzilla is the worst Godzilla movie ever made. And if you compare it to Godzilla, yes, it is a very terrible movie. However, on its own, it is not bad. So that's the same thing with Andromeda. So if you ever feel like you want to play Andromeda, do not compare it to the original 3. This is for Will and all listeners out there. Play it as its own game. It is much more enjoyable if you do not compare it.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever play Andromeda though, personally.
And it's perfectly fine if not, because you do your online play, spending your $15 a month to go play your stories. But,
Nah, to go play the new raid or the new dungeon. Story's cool. I know about it just because I like Destiny, but I play Destiny to play the content.
The thought that
pay
was,
attention to the story.
The thought that was crossing my mind was Warframe, which is like a third-person.
Oh my
Destiny.
Gosh,
Warframe is such a good game.
Okay, so Warframe and Destiny are very alike. The distinct difference between Warframe and Destiny.
Warframe's free.
Well, Warframe is free. Yeah, that is. I mean, Destiny is technically free, but DLCs and all that stuff. But Warframe, the amount of grind that it takes, if you want to play that game completely free, the amount of grind that it takes is so astronomically more than Destiny. It's ridiculous.
I liked the aspects of Warframe just because I could run around with a giant sword. Dale, I don't know if you remember this, but I think it was Spring Break.
The Galantine?
Yeah, and I put the skin on there that made it even bigger. I spent like $5 to make it like an actual, like, massive sword that shouldn't be humanly
wieldable.
It
looks like Excalibur. I think that's what it's called, is Excalibur.
Yeah, I think it was maybe junior or senior year. I can't remember if it was my junior or senior year, but we had spring break, and we all went over to Chase's house. And we all brought our own TVs, and all played Warframe. Do you remember that?
Maybe. I remember bringing my PC over, and a lot of people brought like TVs.
Yeah, we went over. I brought my. It took me forever to convince my parents to let me take my TV, but we went over there. And Will, you know how I am with giant swords, right?
Talking about your massive hard-on for them?
Yes. The swords are great. People who use guns are wusses. Get up close and personal. Feel their breath as you either stab them or they stab you. But anyway, people thought this was a little entertaining story. We were on one of the just hunting missions. I can't remember what it was. Like we're trying to escort missions. That's what it was. And Dale, Chase, and I were just running through. And Dale and Chase were sitting together with their guns, shooting stuff. And they had no clue.
No, I had the bow and arrow.
It's distance weapons. But they're sitting there shooting these enemies, and I think it was Chase who said, "Hayden, where the fuck are you?" And I just grabbed my sword, and you just see me in the back of Chase's screen just run through with the sword, slicing and dicing everything. Just, this is the way to play! Slice, 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 slice.
This is the way.
Chase was bitching because that's not how you play this game. You use guns. No. I use a gigantic sword that is unhumanly possible to wield, but fuck you!
I mean, that is definitely a way to play the game. There are people who just melee.
I love the melee aspect. That's why it was so much fun. The different weapons, the different ways you could fight was so much fun. Warframe.
Well,
it was fun.
I don't know what I expected out of this dungeon.
Are you about to die?
No, it is definitely it's just Scarlet Rot Dungeon is all it is. By the way, the Black Key crossbow, pretty good crossbow.
I think I might have that. I have.
Yeah, you get it from the kitchen in the round table.
Have I been to the kitchen?
Yeah, it's where you used your stone sword keys.
Oh yeah, okay. I forgot I opened that last night.
It's very fast firing.
Will, tell us how your life is going. I'm just curious. Tell us what's going on in Will's world.
Will's World. Will's World.
That sounds like an HBO show. Will's World.
Basically, right now, it's all just prepping for deployment.
Oh yeah, we're going to be losing Will for a couple months, aren't we?
4 months.
And you won't be
Will's going to Ukraine.
Probably more. I'm not going to
And Will,
Ukraine,
you won't be able to record, and all you hear is bombshells in the background. All right, on this Dokkan win, I summon this bomb! SSR!
Yeah. Just artillery going on. What are you going to be, Will?
What'd you say?
Like, what are you going to do? Like,
my job?
What is your army job?
Air Force, actually, sir. Okay, don't disrespect me like that again. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry.
thought you were Navy.
All I know is you're going to complain when the Wi-Fi is out in your hotel room.
I'm actually going to the Middle East, so Wi-Fi is going to be intermittent there. But no. So my job is aircrew flight equipment. So I take care of like the parachutes, night vision goggles, oxygen mask. Like all the survival gear for pilots, that's I inspect and maintain that.
Okay, that's interesting.
I've got a cousin who he's up in the he's in the Navy, and he's up in the COC or the command center for the boat.
Yeah,
He's up in that, and he does like all the navigation shit for the boat.
That's pretty lit, actually.
I play video games.
Yeah, but I will be gone for quite some time.
Man, we're gonna have to change the title screen of Dokkan Win from led by Hayden, Will, and Dale to something else for a little while. Unless Will just manages. You just hear the gunfire in the background. Dokkan Win!
He'll be here in spirit.
Yeah.
Is it a good spirit or the bad spirit?
Good spirit.
Okay,
Good spirit.
I didn't know if Will. Okay, if my hand is covering my mouth, so Will can't hear me. I didn't know if you meant Will would be dead and be haunting us, or if Will would be sitting over there, war going on, thinking about Dokkan Win.
If Will would be dead, haunting us.
Yeah, I totally couldn't hear anything you guys were talking about.
Yeah,
At all.
exactly. This is how the world works. You cover your hand, nobody else can hear you.
If you cover your hand, nobody can hear you.
You heard me. I know what I said.
Do you really know what you said?
Yes, I do. You gotta put your foot where your head is, your hand where your toe is, and your butt cheek where your mouth is. That's how the body works. Girl. That's how the body works.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Could you imagine if that's actually how the body worked? I think it was well, was it you, Dale? Was it you and me, or me and Chase, where we were sitting there talking about how if the human body was a vehicle, what would each body part be?
I do not remember that at all.
Okay. Well, you know, do you guys want to talk about how the human body could be a vehicle if you did it right?
No,
Sure, let's hear your explanation.
That sounds horrifying.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that. Like, every human body part has a thing. Like your blinkers. What would be the blinkers?
Nipples.
Yep. Yeah. The nipples and the ass cheeks would be the blinkers. And if they go to hazard, they just start flaring. Just weep, 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 weep.
Lord.
An oil change. There's two ways that an oil change could be. It's either piss or shit.
Ugh.
Well, technically, an oil change, you have to add more oil.
Yeah,
so
you have to add
oil
more.
changing would be going to the bathroom and then going to eat and drink directly afterwards.
No, I know. Like, you're just sitting there just chugging it. It's just, I'm imagining a steady stream coming in, like, in and out. Just perfect timing. Just perfect timing. Like it's not even gone. Yeah, if the human body was a vehicle, it'd be horrifying. And then you have like the windshield wipers are just your eyelids.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not wrong. Eyelids are human windshield wipers, and that's a fact.
The eyelids are the human windshield wipers.
Am I wrong?
I mean, you're not, but still. Don't say it with 100% like this is true.
This
please.
is true. Tell me it's wrong. Someone out there, tell me that eyelids are not human windshield wipers. Tell me. Nobody can, because it's fact. What's that? I think it's an episode of SpongeBob. SpongeBob's walking around in the rain, and you actually just see the what are they called? I just said it. What the hell? Windshield wipers. Just wiping on his eyes, just squeak, 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 squeak. This is not at all how I thought this episode was going to go when I started this. I figured we'd all have just chill conversation with each other.
Okay. Everybody's talking about it on the internet. I have to see what side you guys stand on.
No.
Are there more doors?
No! You son of a
wheels
bitch!
in the world?
You son of a
More
bitch! I
doors
knew
or
where this was
wheels?
going.
Like doors as in like doorways and wheels?
Doors
as in, like, car
as
wheels?
doors, like not just the door itself. Like if what goes in a door frame versus wheels. And the
There's
answer...
100% more wheels.
Without a doubt. If someone says...
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because...
Okay, I'm just making sure that you guys aren't crazy.
Like, it's not... People out there, how could there be more doors? Like, if we take even toy stuff. I'm assuming a door is going to be more or less an actual, like, wooden door. Do we count car doors or wooden doors?
All doors. So here's the thing: is like people are like, well, what about skyscrapers? And I'm like, yeah, skyscrapers are they're mostly office buildings, correct?
They got
So
probably 100 doors.
they have, yeah, they've got a lot of doors, but also at the same time, every office has a chair that has
wheels,
more than one wheel on it.
Yeah, unless it's one of those weirdo
office chairs
ones.
regularly have 6 to 8 wheels on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like that argument is null at that point. Like their biggest argument is done.
And then you got to compare it because someone actually pointed out Legos. If we count all wheels, Lego produces 300 million wheels a year.
Yeah. And technically, if we're doing that, a gear is a wheel.
I wouldn't. Okay, I'm not going to count that. Not going to count a gear itself as a wheel, though it is wheel shape. Since it's not used as a wheel.
But that's the thing is like.
You want me to use a gear as a wheel?
People get so technical with like what a door and what isn't a door. I'm like, well, if we're gonna get super technical, a gear is a wheel. A weight for lifting could technically be used as a wheel. Like, dude,
the Mythbusters, I'm very sure, have used 45s as wheels.
No, I'm sure they can
have before.
But I'm just saying, but like I say, yeah, it's definitely wheels. If anyone says doors, you are wrong, and
you're uneducated.
Wrong. Yeah, because take a car. Someone pointed out that a car will have 4 doors and 4 wheels, so that's their argument, is that it would be equal. But then you got to count. What about 16-wheelers that have 2 doors and 16 wheels?
Yep.
Yeah.
What about what about a motorcycle that has 2 wheels, no doors? Or a unicycle, 1 wheel, no door.
Bicycle,
but a seat.
Yeah, bicycle, 2 wheels.
Go-karts. F1 cars. No door.
Golf carts.
No door.
Hey, don't go-karts have doors? Don't some go-karts have doors?
No.
I might be thinking of like those fancy go-karts.
You're thinking of like the
Razor,
like Razor, like Gators style ones, where it's like they actually have like the roll cage and they have all that stuff. I know what you're talking about.
4-wheelers. Those have 4 wheels, no doors. So people
hence
out
the
there,
name.
Yeah, if you out there say doors beat wheels, I do not know who started this stupid thing.
I don't know. It just blew up out of nowhere.
But yeah, guys, we need to come up with something stupid like that. We need to have some stupid debate that blows up on the internet.
You guys remember? Oh my gosh!
No.
Do you guys remember that dress back in the day that everybody was arguing about? It was different colors because of like the certain lighting. Oh my gosh!
That actually,
I completely forgot about that.
That showed up for like a solid month on my TikTok, and one person, you know what they did? They had the 2 pictures, the blue dress and the white dress, and the same thing, and they actually drug the thing. It was on a live, I believe, but they drug a chunk of the blue dress over to the white dress, and it actually matched, and they drug it right back, like it just swapped palettes.
Yeah, it's literally just like the lighting and like framing that it had, like that it would just look different. I don't know. It was just weird. That's like some old internet type stuff, though. That's like
2013.
That's like
internet.
what's the Fox say like internet type stuff.
It's actually started to make a comeback. At least what I've seen. I've heard.
What?
Of
Crazy Frog?
Please no. Oh my gosh. We're just going on a nostalgia trip right now.
Is Crazy Frog, or am I thinking, is that the one where he just rides the invisible motorcycle and just...
Yeah, that's Crazy Frog.
You guys remember, this could be a weird callback for some people, but do you remember on TV when they would have songs that you could buy for your phones?
Yes.
I'm reminded of these 2 frogs, these like jazz frogs, that would do like, I can't even remember what it was, but one popped out of a box, and it was a tall frog and a short frog, like Mario and Luigi kind of height. And one frog started out just doing his thing, the other one joined in. They're dancing around a record player, and then you had that fluffy rabbit that looked like horrible CGI. That is, you are my sweetest love. I really wanted one of those. I can't remember which one I wanted, but I wanted one of them. My parents would not let me spend the $2 to buy that on my phone. So I had to record it off the internet, and it sounded like shit, but I was happy.
I had to record it off the internet, and it sounded like shit.
Speaking of, Will, do you remember my first phone?
first smartphone?
No. This is a good thing out there because my first phone that I also had, my flip phone.
Oh yes.
Do you remember what my text theme ringtone was? My text tone was?
No.
Dragon Ball Z Kai was just airing on Nicktoons, and I think I got the phone the day of. Whenever I got the phone, I came home and found out I could record stuff up to a minute and make custom sounds. So me being, I think I was maybe 10 at the time, 9 or 10, I was like, oh, this is so cool! Hey, this is so cool! I recorded the first fight against, not the first fight, but whenever Frieza first transformed and killed Dende, and Gohan screams and they start kicking at Frieza. Dale, you know Dragon Ball, and Will, you know too. Do you know what scene I'm talking about?
Maybe, I know what
you're talking about.
Frieza goes into his final form, shoots his beam past Krillin, Gohan, Vegeta, and hits Dende, and he explodes. And Gohan and Frieza's like, ew, silly thing. You thought you were tough. And then Gohan just screams and starts attacking. I had the minute from whenever Gohan started screaming against that fight with Frieza. 1 minute after that was my text tone. I'd be in the middle of class, and next thing you know, you just hear, hey! Oh, crap, Dragon Ball Z's going off. Hold on. I was a stupid child.
Talking about memories from you doing dumb stuff. You remember in 5th grade when you wouldn't shut up about Alpha?
Problem solvers! Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. My guy would be sitting in the middle of class. Nothing would be happening, and you would just hear a small child yell.
He cut out. He cut out.
He cut out. That's the best.
All I heard was.
Like that's.
I don't remember screaming it like that. I remember going Alpha, because that's what it was. And
it was. Oh my gosh. It got so annoying after a while.
I think we just woke up some weird memory in somebody's life. We said Alpha, and they're like, oh no. That bell that just rings in the back of your mind whenever anime characters remember something. Ching! That was a weird show. I cannot remember much about it, but I just know it was weird. And they always got massive checks for $15. I never understood it.
Good Lord.
Like, it was so weird. I've connected to Alpha on an emotional level, Will, so fuck you.
I'm connected to Alpha on an emotional level.
Oh my gosh. Like, it was... And we were playing baseball at that time, too, when your dad was coaching the baseball team. And you would just not shut up about this stupid character in a TV show. And everybody was just like, Hayden, we don't care. And you just be out there in the outfield just saying his name for no reason.
It's one of the... I'm reminded of Team Storefar, and it's... I remember what it's saying.
Say Team Storefar?
No, I said Team 4-Star.
No, you didn't. You fucking Spooner system the shit out of that.
I did not. I have it on recording.
No,
Team 4-Star.
You said Stofar.
We can take this back because I definitely heard you saying something different.
Anyway.
I heard Stofar.
Anyway, I think it's Vegeta when he's saying mine, and it just comes from a distance. Mine. That's what I'm imagining with Alpha. It's like, you just hear, Alpha. What the fuck is that? Alpha. And then you just see me zoom past the Alpha again. Alpha. Oh god, we awoke so many memories in somebody out there. They're just sitting there, like, I'm imagining, like, almost...
They had happily forgotten it. They had went to therapy for years to forget it, also, and we just brought it back.
Speaking of stuff that people have forgotten about, you all just lost the game.
Oh, fuck you.
If I'm gonna lose the game, you're gonna lose the game with me.
The game?
Wait, you're joking, right, Hayden?
Will, we were children. You know how many games we played?
No, the game. Okay, so you could never win the game, but it was just a thing for, like, millennials, like Hunter and Gerald's age, where it was just like an internet thing where if somebody said you lost the game, The game was thinking about the game. That's how you lost it. It's literally
it's
just
like,
called the game.
What horror movie was it?
Wait,
Candyman.
Wait, would that mean that?
No, not Candyman. Well, Candyman, yes, but it was a stupid, shitty horror movie where like
The Bye
you
Bye
say
Man?
the character's name. Yeah, the Bye Bye Man.
Oh yeah.
Wait, okay, so since I had no clue what you're talking about, that technically means that I won your thing, so yay.
No, now you're just indoctrinated
know the
into
game.
the game. And so now there's no escape. It's only losing from now on.
Well, here's the thing. Someone's going to say it, I'm still not going to have a fucking clue what it was, because I was never a part of that, so I'm never going to know it.
See,
Yeah,
I
dude.
can never remember the Bye Bye Man's real name, so I have to think of the like funny video someone made called the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man.
Dude, the game back in like the early 2000s was so serious that people at Comic-Con would wear "You Just Lost the Game" t-shirts, and people would get legitimately mad over it.
Oh, the early 2000s, when people weren't bastards. I don't know why, I just think... Did you guys remember the movie The Babadook?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
you mean
the
the comedy movie
Why
instead of the
aren't you
horror movie?
normal? Read!
Why aren't you normal? Oh,
That
God.
was a straight up comedy movie, and it was meant to be a horror movie.
There are so many that are like that. Like, I watched it, I think it's the AT&T commercials. You know that girl that's in the AT&T commercials?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I watched a movie that she was in about maybe a week ago. Like a legit movie. It was called The Werewolves Within.
Mm-hmm.
This ranger moves to a town in the middle of somewhere. I can't remember what it was. It was such a bad movie. He moves in the middle of the town to become more or less the sheriff deputy there, and meets this unique variety of people. Meets an innkeeper, meets a man who wants to put a gas line through the town, meets the rednecks, meets the Karen, meets her wife, meets a pair of gay guys.
A bunch of pairs of gay guys.
Yes. I was about to say a bunch of gay guys, but there were only the two of them. But he goes in and starts meeting these people, and her name was Cecily. The AT&T girl was Cecily. I'll quickly run through the movie just so we can go, just because I'm bringing this up. I want to tell you how bad this movie was. This was supposed to be a horror movie. I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be a horror movie. It was everything but a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
So, Forest Ranger's name is Flynn, comes to town, says, hey, I need, where do I stay and all that, goes to this inn where this lady's like, hey, you could stay here, you need to introduce you to the town folk, this is where Cecily, the AT&T lady, you're a male lady, no, I'm a male person, they could be gender fluid, that's what she had said, so I was like, oh no. I didn't know.
I have never heard it called the male person. Everybody just calls, no matter female or male, the mailman.
Yeah, I think Flynn had said, you're a male lady. No, I'm a male person. But anyway, so she begins introducing him to the townsfolk.
That's like the type of person that, like, I'm a male person. And then, like, you go to their house and they tell you, it puts the lotion on its skin.
Or it gets the hose again.
Exactly.
But, yeah, so Flynn begins meeting all these people, the Karen, the rednecks, all that. And then he meets a hunter. His name is Emerson. Yeah, I guess.
He meets a hunter. His name was Hunter.
You know what? I need to write that in like a story or something. I met a hunter. Okay? What's his name? Hunter.
Hunter.
You met my brother?
I don't think your brother's a hunter, though, bud.
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a hunter.
He hunts sometimes.
Oh.
He's a hunter in both the literal and the literal sense. But, so Flynn has met all these people and then goes back to town. And that next night, he apparently, the power in the town goes out. It's like, oh no, the spooky, scary thing that happened. They go and he checks the generators. Oh no, the Karen lost her dog. She let the dog out at like 2 a.m. to go to the bathroom. And next thing you know, the dog gets tugged out of her hand. And then he gets eaten. So I was like, oh no, Karen lost her dog. Cut to the next morning. She's crying in the bottom of this inn. This is whenever power's all out. Just, oh, my dog! I have nothing left in this world to live for. Fuck you, husband. I have nothing left that I love. I was like, hey, that's kind of funny. But continuing, then Flynn's like, I'm gonna go see if I can find your dog. Walks outside and looks and finds generators with like an actual gash, like massive gash, just torn out of him. It's like, we don't have power. He walks around the inn for a few minutes until he finds the remnants of the collar hidden underneath the inn. And underneath the inn is a person, a dead person. He's like, oh God. He walks inside. Hey, Sheriff, you look like you just saw a dead body. Yeah, I did. And basically a lot of stupid stuff happens. They say, partner up, have a gun with everybody. So until we figure out what is going on. Do that, figure out it's a werewolf, because some zoologist comes out of nowhere. He's like, it must be a lycanthrope.
A lycanthrope?
Yeah, they called it a lycanthrope. Not a werewolf, a lycanthrope.
I mean, that's the technical term for it.
It is, so. But you know how long it's been since I've heard someone say a lycanthrope?
Well, have you ever heard anyone say lycanthropy?
I've heard lycanthroposis.
Is that the one where like your body grows all the hair?
I think that is actually what it is. But anyway, so basically they buddy up, and that night they're all staying in the inn because it's the only place that has heat because there's a fireplace. And the Karen's husband goes outside his room, and he gets his hand bit off.
Gotta smoke.
He gets his hand bit off like Ethan Winters in Resident Evil 8 when he loses 3 of his fingers.
Does he put it back on though?
God, I told my dad about that earlier today. We watched a Resident Evil movie. I told him about it, and he's like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. How does that work? It makes sense if you've played the game, but if you just look at it from an outward thing, it is a meme. It makes no damn sense. But more on that later. So they then figure out the werewolf is inside with them. So like, werewolf, bad, who's what? And then they have the typical, everybody turns against everybody.
It's just a game of Town of Salem at that point.
Okay, there was about 15 people that were introduced in, say, 20 minutes of the movie. We'll say 15 just as a fair number. The next few minutes I'm about to tell you happen in 20 minutes. 10 people die in 20 minutes. Everybody goes their separate ways. You have the gays going back. I cannot remember their name, so that's why I'm calling them. I cannot remember their name. They were masseuses. That's what I'm going to call them, the masseuses. The masseuses are going back to their home. The Karen went back to her home just in a puff with the husband, just like, honey, my hand, it's not there.
Carl, you can't do that. That kills people.
Come on, Johnny. Let's go to Candy Mountain.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
that is OG, OG internet.
Shine!
OG YouTube.
Shine him, Johnny! Shine! It's a magic light, blur it on, Johnny! That popped up on my TikTok. It popped up on my TikTok. Go follow my TikTok, by the way. I'm about to hit 2,000 followers. It's Dokkan Podcast. But I heard that, and I was like, oh my god.
Shameless, Link. Shameless.
Exactly. You can never get 2,000 if you don't ask people to follow you. But, anyway, where was I? Everybody goes their separate ways. The masseuses are going home, and next thing you know, they begin hearing a rustle. A rustle. You know, like in Adventure Time when Finn and Jake pretend to be bandits? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
There's an episode where Princess Bubblegum gets poisoned or gets a potion thrown on her that turns her green. She loses her hair.
Oh, and wait, I think I know the one you're talking about.
And Jake is like, pretends to be a bandit. It's like, Russell. I am a bandit here to kill Princess Bubblegum. But where is she? You are not her, for you are ugly and she is gorgeous. But that's like, imagine that kind of rustling. And next thing you know, one of the masseuses, here's actually what's, Gaston and LeFou from Beauty and the Beast. That's actually a perfect example.
Gaston and LeFou.
That's a perfect example of how these two look. Gaston gets killed. And like, oh, it's the werewolf. No, it's the Karen. She rounds a tree. I need my dog. And she pulls out a sap collector thing, one of those valves you stab in the tree, and stabs it in his neck as a
spigot?
Yeah. I couldn't remember what they were called, but as LeFou runs back, the guy who wanted a pipe turned out as a trophy hunter, and then says, "I'm gonna kill this werewolf, this lycanthrope thing." Basically, he gets killed. I'm not gonna go through the entire movie. People out there, if you want to see a stupid movie, I'm actually about to get to the stupid part of this movie. He gets killed. A guy gets killed by him shooting himself, or shooting the thing. LeFou gets killed by getting shot with an arrow. One of the male redneck gets hit by the back of the truck, a truck that his wife is going to be a getaway truck. He's like, "Where's my wife?" Thud. "Come on, Cletus, let's go." She gets shot in the head. And then you have Cecily and Flynn who are left. Flint got shot. And you go into like an axe throwing place. And we figure out Cecily, the AT&T lady, is the werewolf. She played a pretty good whatever she was. But,
Male person.
That's right. Male person. It's
male person.
It's not gender specific. But anyway.
I'm a male person.
Anyway, I'm not going to go into the rest of the movie.
Come over to my house and I'll put you in a well.
Yeah. It rubs the lotion on its skin.
Or else it gets the hose again.
Just calm down there.
Anyway, in the middle of the movie, I say near the end of the movie, she was killed, supposed to be killed. She gets up in the background and starts walking towards the camera. The first time I watched this, I didn't notice it until then. Flynn is talking to Emerson, the hunter who came in magically out of nowhere to save the day, like Mr. Rogers. Yes, that's what he said. You got to be a friendly neighbor like Mr. Rogers. Dale, you need to come over and watch this movie, because I'm not making everything I'm saying is not made up.
Hey, Hayden, so I'm back down in that underground area, right?
Yeah.
You can get the blue guys to drop their horn helmets.
That's a helmet?
Yeah, it's a helmet.
I thought that was them.
Even though they moo like a cow and charge you, it's a helmet.
You just scalp them. Anyway, she's standing up and walking towards him. You're not supposed to know they're not supposed to know it's coming. Flynn, the main character, in the middle of the scene in the movie, looks at her and watches her for a solid 3 seconds and then shakes his head like, "Oh shit, I'm not supposed to do this," and then goes back to the conversation with Emerson. And then she jumps on the table. He's like, "Oh, she's still alive!" Yeah, you just watched her walk over there. Of course she's still alive. And I sat there and I rewatched the movie.
Still alive? Oh no!
I rewatched the movie, and that happened 4 different times of them looking off camera at either the camera person or someone who's not supposed to be seen yet. And then
they're just fucking. They're spiking the camera.
It's like a D rating movie with how bad that stuff was. If it wasn't for that, it would be, I'd say, a C rank movie. But it's a D rank movie because numerous times they just look to the camera or look to something that's not on scene that you're not supposed to know is happening yet.
What's this movie called?
The Werewolves Within. As a 2021
This is
thing.
like the movie. It's like the movie Happy Thanksgiving.
Did you know there's a Easter Bunny Massacre movie? I saw it at Walmart 2 days ago. But anyway, that all this happens. They manage to kill her but you want to know the final line of the movie? It's the stupidest line. I'll give you $20 if you can guess this line.
The werewolves were inside of us all along.
No, Will, take a guess.
Take a guess on what?
The final line of this movie. It's the stupidest thing. But if you can get it, I'll give you $20.
I guess we were all werewolves all along.
No. Make your own damn sandwich.
Oh, damn it. I was really hoping because she was a male person, it would be like a male.
There's no way the movie that you described to me and this review match up.
It's real.
Okay, I'm going to read you guys some of the 5-star reviews that were left.
Honestly, if you watch it for the first time in a theater, it could be okay. But if you watch it more than once, it is a bad movie.
Okay, listen to these 5-star reviews from the movie that you just explained.
They paid them to put
I've been looking forward to the release of this movie, and I gotta say that it did not disappoint. Werewolves Within is such a fun... What?
Whodunit?
I think they're supposed to say who done it, but
what did it? What did
it's not spelled like that. And the last couple minutes will absolutely get your pulse racing. Loved it. Thank you, Ubisoft, and the lovely cast who played
was
in it.
Ubisoft who
Will
made it.
rewatch because it's hilarious and scary in all the right ways.
It's not.
Here's another one.
It's not scary, and
This is one of the better movies this year. The twists and turns in the mystery department were amazing. The characters were unique and awesome. The only complaint I would have was that the budget was too low.
No.
There could have been a
No
better
way.
fight scene near the end, but overall amazing.
I will-
Werewolves Within is such a good movie.
I will tell you.
Considering all the way till the end, I was wondering if there were any actual werewolves
that
in
too.
this movie or not.
I thought that too. I'm not gonna lie. I think maybe 30 minutes before, or maybe 20, 30 minutes before the movie is over, I googled, are there even werewolves in this movie? It didn't even answer the question. The twist of Cecily being the werewolf, because she was the werewolf, was surprising. Outside of that, the movie was terrible. It was if it's supposed to be a comedy thing, it has the comedy. If it's supposed to be, I can see the comedy. But it felt like more of a horror aspect, the horror whodunit, as opposed to the comedy horror whodunit. I was thinking more like almost like a Knives Out kind of whodunit thing, where it's more suspenseful. This was not suspenseful. It got stupid. This is like
Knives Out was ridiculous the whole way through because it's like I think it was the maid who did it, and everybody's like, no, it couldn't have been the maid.
But yeah,
it's like
dude, you guys
it was
wanna
like
hear
yeah,
more
it actually was
five-star
the maid the
reviews
whole
for
time.
this
you
thing?
know what? Why the fuck not? But whenever you guys have the ability, you gotta come to my house, sit on my futon, and we're gonna watch this movie and talk about it in the next episode of Dokkan When, whenever that
Dude.
is.
We just
also,
need like
I'm
an
down.
all-around sit-down podcast.
Yeah, we
Okay.
do. You haven't done that since our second episode.
Another 5-star review
No.
right here. Great film, great characters, and so funny. If you're looking for gory horror, then look elsewhere. But if you want a laugh out loud, whodunit suspense with a horror edge, watch this. I swear you won't be disappointed. Great performances all around that'll keep you guessing right to the end.
Until the people start looking at the people off the camera.
Josh Rubin, this is a different one. Josh Rubin was one of the best writers/directors for college humor, and fans from the early college humor
wonder it was
era would
shit.
recognize
They had
his
college
style
humor
from
people
this
working on
film.
it.
Recommended for those looking for a whodunit film to watch with family and friends and have a good laugh. Also, if you're one of those wish to see more of the Sam Richardson after the debacle that was Tomorrow War, this is for you.
I'm getting Rubber vibes. Like, this is that kind of movie. This is Rubber. People out there who don't know Rubber. Will, do you know Rubber?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, no, not Rubber. I was thinking of Flubber.
No, Rubber. And I also found another movie, which I'm going to tell you guys about in a second. That is an actual movie. There it is. Okay. Rubber is a movie about a psychic tire that can explode things.
What?
Not a joke. Look it up.
It's like up there with fried green tomatoes.
And here's another one that's 2019 film. I'm gonna read you the synopsis of this movie, and you guys gotta guess the name. You ready?
Okay.
Sure.
Two detectives find themselves battling their own demons when a girl enchants a killer reclining chair that begins committing crimes of passion.
A killer reclining chair.
That begins committing crimes of passion.
The Passionate Recline.
No, Dale?
What's the name for it?
Yeah, what's the name? If you heard that, what would you think is the name?
Recliner. Just recliner.
It is called Killer Sofa.
They thought really hard on that name, didn't they?
You know what we should do, honestly? Like, if we have a sit down, what we should do is truly get like 4 or 5 of these stupid, like, $2 movies, watch it, and review them as a Dokkan When. Or just a when.
Okay. We were talking about Babadook. Sorry. Also, yes, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm
Babadook
down.
earlier. You guys want to hear this review for the Babadook?
Is it going to be great?
This is one of the greatest and most terrifying psychological horror films I have ever seen. It is a very hard movie to watch, and there were several points throughout it where I wanted to turn the film off. The performances from both of the leads were utterly exceptional and some of the most realistic and amazing performances I have ever seen in a horror movie.
Hayden, I know one that we have to watch. It's literally called Chupacabra. And like they go to like some Mexico subcontinent kind of area, like Spain or something like that, right?
No!
And
oh my god, what the fuck is this movie?
the first time they find the Chupacabra, like one of the girls who's like just on this like research deal with them, she fucking spikes the camera, looks directly into the lens and goes, "It's a Chupacabra."
What?
Okay.
Yes.
All right, well, here's what we're gonna have to do. Each of us has to pick 2 movies. I have one of mine. Mine is the Banana Splits movie. I have that one. Will and I watched it once, but that's one of mine.
Oh my god, the Banana Splits movie, the one where they're killer animatronics.
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Here's one.
Nicolas Cage did another one like that.
Yeah, that
recently.
One, yeah, he's like said nothing the entire movie. I actually want to see it, but I cannot remember what the name of it is. But well, I got one that you're gonna like, but this isn't it. Here's one. I was a teenage were-skunk.
I've seen that one.
Karis Hell. Clown NATO. Killer Pinata. Oh, here's one. Inhuman Witch.
Oh my god, Inhuman Witch.
The Velocipaster. We've talked about this one. You and I have.
Oh, I heard about that.
I have watched the Velocipaster.
Llamageddon. Beaster Day, which actually looks like it's just a horror thing. Well, this is the one you're going to like. Jesus Christ. Vampire Hunter.
Yep.
Santa Jaws. Attack of the Killer Donuts. Dale, you're going to like this one. I want you to look up Butt Boy and tell me about it.
Butt Boy?
That's what it is.
Buddy.
Like B-U-T-T boy.
Give me a second. Let me finish killing the deer because I need the bones for my arrows.
The Amazing Bulk. Evil Bong. I actually have I have Evil Bong. I have that movie.
The Amazing Bulk.
I saw something. It's one of those like $4 budget films that like people did in their apartment. The Ginger Dead Man. Thanksgiving 3. Evil Bong.
Yep. Thanksgiving is hilarious.
Shark Exorcist and Sharkenstein. Drive-through. Puka. Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf. Zombies. The Pan Man. This movie's just called The Pan Man. It's a man with like a Elden Ring build with a pot on his head and a pan in his hand.
What the fuck is this?
Tell me about the
movie. It looks like a noir thriller.
Oh no.
It says Butt Boy, assume the position. It looks like a noir thriller. Here, I'm gonna send y'all the image of this. Of it.
It looks like it's a good horror thing. If you didn't look at that, it looked to be cool. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Where do you want me to post this at?
You know what? How about you put it in the not Dokkan topics and just confuse the heck out of people right now? Bad Ben, Bubba the Redneck Werewolf.
What?
Bubba the Red Note.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the file is too powerful. I can't put it in.
Oh no. The Lavalantula, which looks like it's a tarantula that just spits out lava. Let's see. Bunny Man Massacre. I've actually seen that one. Birdemic, Shock and Terror. Cannibals and Carpet Fillers. Guys, people do not need to make movies.
People need to make more movies. There you go.
Five-headed.
Look at those. Look at those.
Did you put in the thing?
It looks like a noir thriller movie.
Wait, Will, you message me. Yeah, about is 10 more minutes okay, Will?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so yeah, 5-headed shark attack, horse shark. No, is that house shark? Sharktopus.
They just get better.
Which Discord chat am I looking at?
Not Dokkan Topics.
Not Dokkan Topics.
Okay.
Dale, I found one you're gonna like, and this I think you're gonna call this. It's called the Monster.
The monster.
A serial killer mutates in the sewer, becoming a monster made of human excrement.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, guys.
Do you guys want to hear a movie that was made by a big company? Like, it's a big part of a part of a big series.
Okay.
But it's so dumb. The Nun.
Oh, The Nun. Yeah, I watched The Nun.
I like
Dude,
The Nun.
The Nun, like, for what it was good. Like the twist was really great. But the thing that ruined it for me is how they defeated the demon with a capsule that had the blood of Jesus Christ in it.
Yep.
Guys, we really need to do this. Like, I don't care how long it'll be. Will, before you get deployed, we have to do this. You guys need to pick out 2 spoof movies. There's 2 low-budget movies for us to watch. Order them. I'm sure you can get them off Amazon for like $5. We're gonna have a sit down. Like, you guys come over for an after.
One of mine is definitely gonna be Happy Thanksgiving, the first movie.
Okay. So go, like, get it off Amazon, so we can sit down here, get popcorn. Hell, if we wanted to, theoretically, we could stream it through our thing and just sit there making fun of it the entire time. But we're gonna have to do it and then record our reactions or record our thoughts afterwards.
Okay, so here's the thing: we need to just do like a general podcast, like not about Dokkan, just like
this?
Us sit down and bullshit.
Like,
yeah,
yeah, that's what. But Dale, I was telling Will, this isn't When. This is Dokkan When. I like Dokkan When. Dokkan Wen's fun. We can make another podcast.
Yes, but yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Another one where we just sit down and bullshit about things that are going on. Or just like funny topics that we found during the week.
I'd be definitely down to do that after deployment.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'll have a lot more time.
We'll have
that.
a lot of stories.
Yeah,
a lot of stories.
You know,
a lot of time.
You know how we could do it? Would it be if we do another person's idea? Is that copying? Is that ripping off? Or are we allowed to do that?
I don't know what you're talking about, so keep at it, dear.
A thought that crossed my mind is a podcast Distractable. Or have you heard it?
Mm-mm.
Will, have you?
Mm-mm.
It's a podcast that Mark, Bob, and Wade do, where each of them hop on, and you have one person who hosts, the other 2 with topics, and they basically give points as it goes on through. Let's say if I was the host, I'd give Dale 10 points for making me laugh. I'd give Will 5 points for being deployed and stuff like that. And since Dale wins with most points
for being deployed.
Dale would win.
Fucking ridiculous.
Dale would win with the most points, so then he'd host the next one. I think we'll figure out something else. Maybe we'll do something like that, and we'll just revolve around.
It's just like a big game of Cards of Humanity.
Basically we'll just go 1, 2, 3. We'll go in an order 1, 2, 3.
We should do that for an episode. Play Cards Against Humanity.
Oh my god.
I mean, we could. But so yeah, we'll do that. We'll have a Dokkan When in the future, where we'll have one of these where us just talking about movies, and I guess stay tuned for what are we going to call this? The idiots?
What? Just
the
our general one? The
yeah.
delinquents.
We'll have to come up
with
with
a delinquent though.
We're going to have to come up with a very creative name.
Yeah, we will.
And I'll have to go out and brand. I'll have to brand everything there too. One of you is going to have to be like the main show person behind this, because doing this is not easy.
I can be it.
I can be the host, because I got the hosting blood in me.
Got the hosting blood in me.
I think, like I said, what we'll do is we'll just swap 1, 2, 3 with that one, so that doesn't matter. So I guess I guess for our next topic, Will, since we talked about this on our last episode, very briefly, is I think what I want to try is best TUR. Top 5
Best
TURs.
TUR. Let's go.
So I think how we're going to do this, people out there, unless this changes, I think what we'll do is each one of us three are going to pick 5 TURs and compare them, like what we think are the 5 best TURs. We can include JP side if you two want, or we can just include global because we're 2 Dokkan Fest behind, so it changes things. But we'll go with best TUR Dokkan Fests for, we'll say short events. Short event, best Dokkan Fest for short events.
Technically, if you have a good TUR, all events are short events.
No, I mean, like we'll take a short event as like a Dokkan event or like God event, whereas Legendary Goku event is a long event. It has 7 stages. No matter how powerful your team is, that's still 7 stages.
Okay.
So we'll do something like that. We'll each bring 5 TURs to the thing. We'll talk about it and we'll decide what we think the number 1 TUR would be. Sound good?
Good to me.
Yeah, fine by me.
Alrighty, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for, I guess, I'm not even going to say stay tuned because we'll probably be a year from now, probably, maybe, whenever the
general one comes out.
The Delirious Delinquents. Maybe that's what we should call ourselves.
What's with the onomatopoeia in it?
Yes, that's why. But we'll come up with something. We'll come up with something stupid. Who knows? Maybe we can put it on Instagram. Come up with a poll. Someone could come up with a thing and be like, "What do you want to be called?" This. We'll pick the best 3 ones, and then we'll yeah. I got nothing else to say. You guys have anything else to say?
I've just been getting thin beast bones this whole entire podcast. So,
Will, you have anything else to add?
No. Just wheels are superior.
Yes.
Wheels are superior.
And we need to find some stupid movies. I think I have my 2. I have the banana splits and I have the evil bong. And with that, say bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.
Bye, everybody.